On the 3rd of October 2022, in the middle of Manila, this family's life changed forever.
This is where Percy was gunned down, this exact location. When he was driving here, a motorcycle riding gunman took over on his left, then shot him 3 times.
In dashcam footage taken from Percy's car, the killer and his accomplice can be seen fleeing on their motorcycle. The assailant has since been arrested. Percy Lapis was a prominent radio broadcaster known for his hard-hitting criticism of government abuses and irregularities.
It's hard for me to drive outside now. Whenever there's a motorcycle, I'm concerned that it could be another gunman.
Percy Lapis' wife and 6 children have police protection, but it is intermittent. Percy's brother, who is also a journalist, has kept political and media pressure to ensure that the investigation stays in the spotlight.
This was the logo of the original rapid fire program of Percy. Fire because he keeps the fire burning on issues of injustices and corruption in the Philippines. President were a frequent subject of his criticisms, especially Duterte.
For 6 years, Rodrigo Duterte, Philippines' controversial ex-president, encouraged public assassinations by police officers and hitmen to eliminate not only drug traffickers and users, but also dissenting voices, especially human rights activists and certain journalists.
Do you think the former president could be behind the killing of your brother?
That's a high possibility. There was an instance when he said that journalists are not exempted from assassination. That, hearing that from a president sends a chilling effect to all of us.
Despite the risks, Roy has taken over hosting his brother's radio show to ensure that Percy Lapis' fire continues to burn. Today, the Philippines has a new leader. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. says that he respects human rights. However, he has not put an end to Duterte's all-out fight against communism. In 2020, an anti-terror law gave authorities power to arrest anyone designated as a terrorist. For many government officials, this includes left-wing activists and politicians.
Here we are victimized of fake news. They're saying, let us not be deceived by these terrorists. And there's my picture and my name. The red tagging, it is no different from what U.S. Senator McCarthy did in the 1950s and 60s. Then it was called communist witch hunting. Basically what they're saying is all these critics are part of the underground left and therefore they are criminals. Even if you are an unarmed activist, you become a target. You become vulnerable to being killed. Having Marxist ideas is not a crime.
But for the government, the Philippine Communist Party has not given up armed struggle. It is alleged that it secretly funds the New People's Army. This Maoist insurgency has existed for more than half a century, using violent means to overthrow the government, they say, to give power to the people. The MPA, believed to have nearly 2,000 soldiers, recruits university students to fight in the countryside. This hairdresser's daughter broke off all relations with her mother after joining the movement in 2019.
As a mother, that my child was being recruited and I don't know her future. And she was being used by this organization or the politicians. I want to show that parents must stand also to fight for their children, to give them a chance to live and to go back to the society.
But why do you call them terrorists?
Because they kill people.
While the Maoist army is a reality, the current anti-terror laws open the door to abuse. Several activists have already been arrested or murdered. Demonstrators demand justice on the anniversary of Bonifacio, a key figure of Philippines' independence movement.
This is my father. He was killed in 2020. He was a victim of extrajudicial killings by the Duterte administration, and since then, no justice has been served.
His father, Jory Perquia, was an activist who organized food distribution during the COVID-19 pandemic, but government intelligence services accused him of being a left-wing rebel.
The killing of my father, it's a symbol of impunity existing impunity, the culture of impunity, and the policy of lawlessness here in the Philippines. The government wanted to silence dissent, they wanted to silence activists, and the way to do it is to kill them.
In September 2022, a Manila court ruled that the Philippine Communist Party cannot be declared a terrorist organization by the authorities. But extrajudicial killings haven't stopped, and families continue to suffer. Approximately 30 activists and journalists have been murdered over the last 3 years alone.